Nog twee.
Volcmar,
Good morning.
good morning, we're live.
Welcome with Coffee with the Coaches.
Oh, sorry. Hi,
I'm today's guest.
he's today's guest.
And the host.
I'm the moderator behind the camera, and Mark is still getting coffee. So we have to wait till Mark's ready. It will take a while. I think it's
It's a 6 double espresso.
yeah.
now.
And he's on espresso number 4 now, so we need to wait for 2 more espressos. But if you already have questions you want to ask Volcmar or Mark or both, you can already put them in the live feed, and we will log them as we go. So I'm gonna walk out of the screen and let you stare at Volcmar for a little bit.
See if there are any questions.
Yep. Hi, Valeria.
Hey Valeria. Buenos dias.
Yeah, people are dropping in. Let's see, we don't have any questions yet.
That's good.
So how are you, Volcmar?
I'm good. I'm having coffee. I was hoping some people might join with a coffee. For instance, Esther also will join, usually.
Normally.
I'm
Normally.
here with coffee.
Ah, there he is.
There he is.
Cheers, eh?
Cheers, guys.
Social distance. Proosten.
Yeah. Proust.
All right.
Well, in the good old days, we sometimes had breakfast in the hotel.
I miss the hotel.
Yeah.
Me and Mark would book a room for an hour. I mean, go to have breakfast for an hour.
Book a
in the
table. Book a
Book
table.
a table, not a
table,
room.
you
Sorry.
Yeah. Good old days.
Yeah, we have a lot of espresso.
Well, pretty exciting day actually, because tonight is a press conference. Hopefully telling everybody that they will loosen up all the rules and regulations regarding to the whole COVID-19 situation. So best case, we might start from May or next week, it's May already, with some sort of training. Worst case is that this period will last longer. We'll see what's possible, what's allowed, where we can go from there. For me, I know for Volcmar, we certainly hope that the kids can go to school after the May holiday,
Definitely.
which for us lasts even 2 weeks. Some schools 1.
Yeah, we have 1 week.
Yeah,
Only next
for us
week.
even 2.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So yeah, pretty exciting day, evening, press conference at 7 tonight.
I think it's 7, usually it's 7.
Yeah, so today we have Volcmar with us, our mobility coach, overall mover, highly experienced in, well, almost everything.
Nutrition.
Highly experienced in almost everything.
Yeah. Not so much like me, but I know everything about everything. No, kidding. If you have questions, let's roll. Otherwise, we'll enjoy the coffee. We'll be here for another 25 minutes or so.
Staring into the screen.
No
looking at
worries.
each other.
If you want to hear some tunes,
Yeah, who's here, by the way? Hey, Smart Farmer is here.
wie is dat?
Huh.
Daar ben
Yeah, I
jij.
can see that, yeah. It's,
Sorry, distance. Keep your distance.
Patrick, morgen.
So, Volcmar, I'm curious. Let me start with a question.
Okay.
How do you spend your daily routine when you're at home during these times? What does your day look like? So, do you do specific mobility things at home, or?
Yeah, I like to work in short blocks, not spending too much time in either position, doing anything. For example, I will go outside. Why are you laughing? For example, I will go outside, have a little walk, and then come back. Then I'll have my coffee. I'll make breakfast for me and my son. We'll start the school day. We'll do some work. Maybe I have some emails to check. I will do that for about 30 minutes, or maybe even shorter. And then I'll say, "Come, let's go. We'll go outside again. We'll play some ping pong, or we do a little game, or we have this thing. We started when he was at home. We started doing some yoga exercises in the morning, just for fun. Not because I like yoga any particular more than anything else, but just because it's nice to add some whatever movement in the morning. So we'll do 2 cycles of the sun salutations in the morning before we start, and then we do something else. Or I come up with a little game, or we throw some tennis balls to each other, and then we go back to school. And then for the school, we don't usually sit on the table, at the table. Sometimes we do, but sometimes I like to sit on the carpet or on the ground. Or I say, all right, so this is not a typing exercise. You just have to read something. Come on, let's sit outside, or let's sit on the ground. Or so I like to mix it up. This is the great benefit, I think, now that the kids are at home. I don't have to put him in the chair behind the desk all day, and we don't have to. Like our school is from 8:30 till 2 in the afternoon. Continu rooster, right? Now I have the whole day to break it up.
Speaking about having the whole day,
Yeah.
I will talk into memberships a little later. Your question is there, but reflecting to Volcmar's talk, we get a question if due to the situation you get a different perspective on life. So that's pretty broad.
Do you have a different perspective on that?
I?
Yeah.
Me? Well, due to the whole situation, the insight on maybe on what's most important, less important, and going down might have changed a little. I do appreciate more time with the kids now and more quality time, but I also miss work more now that I cannot be here as often as I want and teaching groups. That being said, even me miss social things now at the moment.
Mark.
So yes, kind of different perspective.
Whoa.
That counts for me. I don't know if you want to say something about that.
I have definitely missing all those things, missing the work and the groups, but besides, so that's all temporarily. I consider this is temporarily. In next week or in 3 weeks or in 3 months, that will come back. Changing the perspective on how I see certain things in life, like you said, you come to appreciate more, even more, the things you know already that are top on the list.
Yeah.
For example, quality time with your kids, or past years already I've been much more appreciative of my family and my having still grandparents, visiting them every week. Even now in these times we go there every week, wave at them, say hello. Definitely appreciate being able to still see them, having them close to me, and getting to spend time with them each week, each day.
Yeah.
How about you guys? How did your perspective change?
Yes, Esther, even me. Patrick, thank you for your comment. I want to go back to the membership. We get multiple questions on memberships already here in this chat, but I get also a lot of emails regarding to it. We get private messages about memberships. Okay, Erwin did a whole talk about it the day before yesterday, so you can find it back on Instagram. I think that's rock solid. That's pretty clear. Okay, without members, there's no box, there's no existence, all right? We gave everybody already almost a month of no payment. That's why we extended the payment. We do the live watch, we do everything we do. We facilitate in all we can to help you get through this period. But from now, we need to get the regular payments, okay? That started yesterday, and the date will become then a month further, so 20th of May, on and on and on. If you guys decide, hey, we're gonna quit, and too many people do it, then simply there's no box when you want to return, okay? I think same goes for your rent, phone costs, every other subscriptions. I don't think that will be paused by people who are responsible for that. So Aaron also asked it, just let it happen. We will compensate, we're already compensating, and when we can reopen for the loyal members, we will also compensate or part or maybe whole next month of no training or just training. And that's basically all I want to say about that. Again, you can look it back from Erwin's post the day before yesterday, and that's how we stand into this situation. Again, hopefully, by the press conference tonight, we can decide on how to move on. And of course, the setup will be different because we cannot go from this situation to the old situation in 1 week. That's not going to work. So that answers your question, Rose. There will be differences. I think the 1.5 to 2 meter distance rule that will remain for quite some time. So within the possibilities, we will do the most we can to facilitate everybody, and as soon as we can, start by doing small group trainings. I hope that helps. Any additions?
No, yeah, we talked about it yesterday, right? How we would
Yeah.
do small group people, how we would facilitate coming in and out, and
Yeah, we don't want to go into details yet because again, that's all about tonight. Yeah, we want to move on obviously as fast as we can to facilitate everybody, to make everybody move again, because we need to stay healthy and strong, and we need to get training in our life. Home situation is not ideal, so.
no. Other things?
Thanks, Patrick. Did we have any other questions, Fabian, at this point?
So far we didn't, I think,
Okay.
actually. So.
Let's have another coffee then.
Yeah, and cheers.
Yeah, another cup. Yeah, let's do something a little bit less serious. Mark, what's your favorite coffee? You have a favorite brand or favorite origin of coffee you like to, because you have fresh beans at home, right?
I have a fresh bean machine, which is pretty okay. At the moment, I have some Indonesian blend from my brother-in-law who works with a coffee company. I'm not even sure what the exact brand, but it works perfectly in my my machine. So I really like that. But I always take a single or preferably a double espresso. Maybe a double espresso in the morning. Yeah.
We mostly do 4, right? When we get our first one.
The first one, yeah.
Yes. Maybe you want to shed a little light on this question from Dakuta. What does a smaller group training, what does it look like? Maybe you can give a small concept about what we talked about yesterday with the team.
Sure, we already have a lot of protocols ready for any situation we're about to handle. And for a small group training, of course, you're all going to work with a solid work spot, which has a lot of room around it. There will be moving spaces, but all with covered minimum distances. You all get to have your own station with your own materials, so everybody can work clean. The environment is very clean. The entire box is as clean as ever, okay, like brand new. So we're gonna keep all the circumstances to the best when you guys are allowed to restart your training. So we will do everything we can to make the best of it.
All right, that's clear. Valeria asked a question. I think this is a good one for Volcmar. Tips for getting quality sleep during these wired, uncertain times.
Well, I think practicing some form of mindfulness every day, or engaging in activity which makes for sudden raw sensations. I have one thing in mind only. I jump in the cold water almost daily these days. Like yesterday, my head was a little bit full. I had some stress about some things, and I jumped in the cold water. Immediately, my mind cleared itself. Could only feel the raw sensation of the cold, which made for much more stillness in the mind. But I think alongside practicing stillness on a daily basis will allow you to to not get too over depressed or overthinking uncertain times, which they are. We don't know whether we can keep our jobs. Many people aren't. There's a lot of uncertainty. So
Yes.
accept it.
Don't make yourself crazy with all the news / fake news there's around these days. Yes, keep up to date with the actual news, but also before going to sleep, at least 2 hours, put away your phones, put away your tablets, okay, do some relaxing stuff, spend time with your family, play some easy card games or whatever, read a good book, right, so you have a clear mind, as clear as you possibly can before going to bed.
Yeah, I actually stopped, not completely, but mostly watching the news. I will keep updated on the virus and how it spreads and how it affects and information we know about the SARS-CoV-2 virus. But I don't want to read any time anymore. Each day, this number of people died of this virus. This number of infections. I don't think this is helpful anymore. We know how it's spreading. We know how it goes. I think it's not helpful anymore to read 1,000 dead people from the virus. Yeah, and 10,000 other deaths from whatever killings and everything. I would like to keep this sort of news outside of my head each day, at least on a daily basis.
I can refill you, Mark.
That's okay.
Mark, I think, yeah, that's a good answer, Volk. I think Sophie has a question regarding what's your evening routine, Mark. What are your favorite books? And maybe you can both answer the question.
Oh, I never read books. Oh no, I just said to read a book. Oh, wait. Honest question. I read a lot of books when I was younger. Nowadays, it's more practical. I'm side learning to be with the voluntary fire department. So in my spare time, I read about that stuff, basically. So because now the education stopped, the practice evening stopped, so I need to keep updated with the, with all the skills and the learning. So then I learn in the books about the firemen. That's basically it for now. But normally I like to read more like the adventure, action, detective books, right? With not the cheaper ones, but with a nice behind story.
You have a favorite book, Mark?
No.
From the top of your mind? No?
The Chameleon.
The chameleon.
Oh, that's nice. Volkmar,
Yeah.
are you reading a book at this point?
Yeah.
Well, I know you read a lot, but
Yeah, but, only non-fiction I read. For fiction, I will turn to Netflix, my best friend in uncertain times. But only in books, only non-fiction. Right now, I'm reading a book my father gave me from Yiddu Krishnamurti, an Indian. All right, so let's call him a guru, but he does not like to be called a guru. The title is. So translated from the Dutch title, it's What Are We Looking For? And it's about us people, what we're looking for, what we find meaning in. I don't know, it's an interesting book.
yeah,
That's what I'm reading right now. Just before I read Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, the professor.
I have it on my nightstand waiting for me to start, but I have like 20 books, so it's
Yeah. That's a must read, I think. Was very interesting too.
People want to know your bedtime routine.
Yes.
If you have.
My bedtime routine.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Without too much detail.
Without going too crazy. Maybe I'm curious if people ask if they think that I like do some sort of stretching routine before I go to sleep. Although I would like to say, I would like to answer that I will stretch every day and do it every day before bed, but I really don't. So why I don't do a stretching routine in the evening is because I'd like to think I get plenty of movement in during the day, that in the evening I'll just drop that, not literally, go to my bed, lay down and sleep. Sometimes I will read something.
Do you meditate?
Yeah, but usually in the morning
But on a daily basis?
on a daily basis. But every now and then I will do it in the evening, unless I'm too tired. If I'm too tired, I won't, because I will not use it as a sleeping tool. I don't consider it. This is completely the opposite, almost, of what I think its purpose is. Although it will work very well, falling to sleep. But I won't use it if I'm too tired. But sometimes I will do it in the evening in bed. Then I will sit in my bed. But then usually after I will do again some reading or something else. Sometimes if I bring my son to bed, I'll fall asleep at 8
Yeah.
next
No,
to
it's-
him in the bed.
Same here.
Do you also have an evening routine with your son? Do you read him like books or
Yeah, we have
tell
a-
him stories?
We have, I
Sure.
think, I think that's very important for
It
kids
is.
to have a routine. This
E-
will help a lot.
Even when they can read themselves, it's just good to interact and to have a moment together and not only read to each other but also talk about the day and experiences, and then the stories come and you get like a different talk than during the day.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really different. Yeah, it's nice to see and hear.
We do that too. I like to have a little talk in bed before going to sleep. Usually I won't ask him about anything. I don't know how it's at you with your kids. If you ask them, how was your day? You get, oh, it was nice.
Mhm.
But I will tell, today I will tell something, whatever. Something with an emotion in it and something with, can be anything.
Yeah, it will pop up.
Well, and then one day we'll learn, oh look, my parents also have feelings and they, what, yeah, they're not perfect. And then usually something comes right after the story out of their mouth. Yeah.
Right.
For the meditation daily, I'm a big fan of the Sam Harris's app called Waking Up, the Waking Up course. He has a book also, Waking Up. Quite interesting. It's a small read, highly interesting, highly recommended. And I think his application is for me it works best. It's the best there is. Very detailed.
You can just download it in the App Store, I think.
You can download it in the App Store, and the first 5 or 10 days are for free. Then
Right.
it's with a prescription. I think it's €12 per month. Unless you cannot afford it, then you can send him an email at support@wakingup.com, and he will give you a free
Really?
prescription.
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, I also have this book, Waking Up, on my nightstand between all the other books that I...
It's together with the other 18 that we
Yeah.
don't know.
Do I have to ask you, Mark, if you meditate or not?
I really do breathing patterns before going to sleep.
All right.
And before that, before going to bed, nobody will believe this, I even drink a cup of tea.
Mark, no! Mark!
Yeah, but very black tea.
Okay.
You still have some
Hey,
kind.
but still.
well,
No.
what kind of tea do you drink then? Now I'm
I
curious.
don't know. It's called mint, sterrenmint.
Yeah?
I don't know. That
All right.
that's nice, relaxing.
Lekker slapen thee.
Yeah, like slaap and it really chills me. I take my supplements, and I go to bed, and I do some breathing patterns, and then I'm asleep within 5 minutes.
That's nice.
Always.
That's nice.
I never stay awake thinking about stuff. If I do my breathing patterns for about 3 minutes, then I turn around and basically I'm asleep most of the time.
Can you tell a little bit more about those? Do you get them from somewhere?
It's a
or-
secret.
I also do breathing pattern, breathing techniques every.
No,
always daily.
I feel my heartbeat, and there's a alarm clock on the other side of the bed, and then I'm focusing on the seconds and my heartbeat is always slower than the seconds, and then that really helps me getting in a certain state, and then I just basically count, depending on how busy I was, for a certain amount of minutes, and then I also keep track of my heartbeats, and then I'm gone.
That's nice. What kind of breathing patterns do you do, Volk? Anything specific?
Usually I will do what referred to as box breathing or square
Mhm.
breathing, where you when you inhale for a certain number of seconds, then you hold for that same number of
Yeah, I
seconds.
combined that with the heartbeat, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and then you exhale same number and hold again.
Yeah.
This is usually what I will do in the evenings. In the mornings or during the day, more vigorous breathing exercises, like the pranayama stuff from yoga or the Wim Hof breathing technique.
Very nice. It sounds.
I take the espresso in the morning and then my heartbeat goes up to 180. And I'm ready to go for the day.
Yeah, well, that's also good. It's a good startup.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think we have any.
Then I can answer the question about my favorite coffee.
Yes, that's where we were.
Yes.
Yes.
So I usually make coffee in the mocha pot, right? Or some people call it percolator or mocha pot
Percolator,
or
yeah.
mocha pot on top of the stove. And I order coffee online at Fascino Coffee. They have very good quality coffees. They have different origins, single origin, but also direct trade and fair trade coffee. They're really nice. And I don't have a grinder, so I order ground coffee.
Brick.
I use a brick.
Faisal.
I do it in but what's nice, because they will make the coffee only after you've ordered it. So instead of buying ground coffee in the supermarket, which has been ground maybe 3 months ago, you order it here, and then some nice person goes to get some coffee beans and grinds it to whatever you want to put the coffee in. So I will say I'm making the coffee in this machine, and according to that, they will grind it for me. Since I'm not that big of a coffee geek like you, and having their own grinders, but this is the next best thing for me
Yeah,
without
good.
having a coffee grinder.
Yeah.
And then I'll start with 2 of those in the morning.
Two whole mocha pots.
I think after I poured the mocha pot in, I'll put the next one on the stove while I drink the first one.
Yeah, that's.
All right. If there are no more questions from you guys, we're gonna call it a day in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
I want to end with the message we almost started with, is if you are unsure about memberships, how we cope with the situation, check back Erwin's talk the day before yesterday on Instagram. That will pretty much sum it all up. If you still have questions, then you can of course mail us. I will try to answer it as fast as I can. All right, but we need you as much as you need us, so stick with us due to these times. Everything will be okay in the end. It might take a little bit more time than you think it might need or want or whatever, and the same goes for us, right? So stick with us. Thanks for your questions. If you do have a final question, we'll be here for about 2 more minutes. Thanks a lot for your visits, and we'll be certainly here next week again, maybe with Volcmar,
Maybe not.
maybe not. Maybe I'm here, maybe I'm there, and then Fabian here. If you want to have a guest coach, let us know.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll see about that.
Yes.
We miss you too. Thank you very much.
Miss you a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sylvia.
Welke Sylvia?
Sylvia, the
Sylvia was
photographer,
just,
Sylvia.
Oh.
Yeah.
She says that everyone keep your subscriptions, and everyone misses us. Well, everyone, maybe not everyone, but
We
Alright.
for sure miss the vibe, and to have the box full with people and to have multiple coaches around to give you the best workout experience, and well, being here in the empty box is pretty sad,
Yeah.
basically.
yes. Yes, and let's wait for tonight, see what happens on the press conference, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there. We all have to wait. So
Moving forward as fast
Yes.
as we can and are being allowed to. So
all
see you
right.
next week.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.